Gabriella, how's it going? You're the first one on today. How was your open house?
Oh, hey.
Oh,
That was
not
good
Gabby,
too.
Jerry. How are you doing?
Oh, hello. Yeah, it was great.
I love to hear that. Definitely a learning experience on your first, so I'm glad you had one. All right. We're Monday. We're in March. Who would have thought? Just like that. February is out. What are we talking about today? What's the most important thing that you guys need help with?
Well, I just joined. I don't know what you guys were talking about before, but I did an open house this weekend and we had like 9 groups there. The first
Nice.
5, like all had realtors. I'm like, okay. And none of the realtors were there. I'm like, how are all these people? Anyways, there were 3 groups without realtors. So that was good.
Hmm.
And I learned I probably should have brought a blank paper copy of the BBA because one couple wanted to go see a home. And I'm like, yeah, I can show you. So I
Ooh.
think that would be a good tip. Next time, I think I'll do that. But, anyways, we were going to go see a home. And then they said, oh, we can't. But I said, okay, but I can Monday. And they said, that would be great. And now they're kind of ghosting me. So
Mhm.
I've followed up, yesterday, and I guess I just leave that. I'll add them to my email list and maybe things will change. But there was another couple there who I would love to reach out to, and I haven't because I want to do it the right way. And they need to sell their home in Sandy and they want to buy a home.
Hmm.
Um, so, anyways, just follow up techniques for I've never done like a buy sell. Um,
Ooh, yes.
like the timing of that for a new agent seems a little bit harder, right? Than just focusing on one or the other.
Yep. Yep. So when a client has to buy and sell, you need to ask them a ton of questions because everyone is very different. I have people that have wanted to sell and then start looking or go under contract. I have had people that want to find the house, go under contract, and then list. And then I've had people that want to list on the market and then go find their house right away. So I would double check kind of all of the scenarios. Like, what would you do if we sell your house too quickly and you don't have the house? Those kind of questions to know what you should kind of game plan. In the most ideal scenario for most people is they're going to want to move out of a property and into a property. And that timing is very difficult. And there's really no easy, this is how you should do it button, because a lot of it will be depend on um, the properties that they like and how quickly they get an offer. Typically,
Okay.
if I were to do this, like me speaking for me, I would want to go find a property that I am going to buy, um, be 100% ready with my listing, and then put in an offer contingent upon me receiving an offer. Now, that works great in this market where things aren't moving very quickly and people are more happy just to get offers. If you find like a great deal, um, and you have to do multiple offers, you're going to lose on not having your home listed already. But if you're the only offer in a handful of showings, you might be okay. So I would make an offer. As soon as that gets accepted, I would list my house and I would try to list it below what I think it would be worth, like 5 to 10 grand below market value, so that I can sell it in a week, so that I don't lose out on the new house that I want because I was chasing over 5 to 10 grand.
Okay.
Um, that is the best case. And then you can work on aligning your offers, especially if you have multiple offers because you underlisted your home, like the sell of the home, because then you could say things like, um, we want a 3 day period to like move out. So once we close, we want 3 days. And so then you could close on the sell. If you're lucky on the same day, if not the next day, you would close on the buy, and then you would have a day or two to move from one to the other.
Okay.
So you could line that up really well. But if you don't have kind of that leverage, then it's hard to do that.
Okay. Okay. So as the agent, I would
Hmm.
help them hopefully get their home all ready and the listing all ready, and like when would we want to take photos? I mean, obviously I'm jumping the gun, but I just want to kind of know
Yep.
how I would do that and be prepared.
So I usually take photos when the offer gets accepted, like make sure they're ready, like any projects that they want to do in their house beforehand. So I do a listing presentation, walk through the house and be like, hey, touch up these things, let's deep clean it, let's do these handful of fixes so that we're ready. So that and
Okay.
as soon as we find the house, you could even order photos when you're making an offer for like a couple days out so that if your offer gets accepted, then photos are already happening. Uh, with the Cody that we usually use for our photography, he's usually good about going out the next day in most cases. And so I haven't worried too
Okay.
much about that.
Okay.
Um, but then,
Okay.
yeah,
So
you could be live in a day or two from having your offer accepted.
okay. So that's helpful. So really you as an agent work with the buyer. You work a little bit for them to get their home ready, but you're really working to find the home. As soon as you do that part and you put your offer in and it gets accepted. So that's nice because it's like kind of like as an agent, you work as with the buyer, you get your offer accepted, and then you go do the listing.
Hmm. That's the ideal way. Now
Yeah.
you are going to have it every once in a while where they're like, "We're out. We don't like this house. We know we're going to find something."
Uh-huh.
And so that's where I would list it and
Okay.
try to be like at that market value, and then go shopping. And then if they find the property that they like, I would do a price reduction on their listing
Okay.
just to make sure that it gets sold. Because there's nothing worse than finding where you want to move and then not getting it because you can't sell your house. And so if
Okay.
they've done the work up front to kind of align those dominoes, then it's going to be price that will hold things back.
Awesome. That helps. As a new agent, that's kind of seems a lot more to manage than just
Yeah,
one.
yes. And then you are going to want to be very on top of deadlines and making sure everything lines up. And not all of this is under your control, right? Like on your buy, you're
Hmm.
going to have to talk a whole lot with the lender to make sure that you're going to close on time. And there's like this domino effect. So the house you're selling, you're going to want to talk to that agent and the lender and their lender to make sure that they're going to close on time. And you can get in scenarios where um, so you could be buying a house and selling your house. Someone is buying your house and has to sell a house as well, and someone is buying that house. So it's really that first buyer that will determine the second buyer that will determine you that will probably determine that next one.
Oh my goodness.
I did get in an instance where it was a full circle. It was
Oh.
a so I found out that someone was downsizing into a house that the seller was buying a house that was buying our house. And so it was literally a full circle. think that would probably be the most rare thing ever. But we were like at the standstill, like a Mexican standoff type idea. Like everyone's pointing at someone else, and we're like, what do we do? Because no one can close until someone closes. And we finally got everyone all on the same page. And they're like, all right, we can move forward, just assuming that everyone's ready. But so the more that you can talk and discuss everything, then the better off you're gonna be.
Wow. Okay. That's helpful. Awesome. So it's really helpful to do, yeah, just one of these as your first transaction. A buy sell seems a little bit trickier.
But they're the best because you get one
Yeah,
client, two closings.
right, right. Any tips for following up? Like they're an older couple, they need to move to a home with the primary suite on the main. I'm just like, they seem so great. I connected well with them. I just I want to be careful to follow up the
Yes.
right way.
So, um, half of the buyers out there say that the thing they're looking for in an agent is for them to help find them the home. And the thing that people will respond to best is houses. Like they like to look at houses. They're in the middle of that right now. So my default when I'm following up with people is to send them houses. Now you don't have a lot to go off of because you were at one open house and you might have a little bit of feedback of things that they were saying. But you
Mhm.
could send them other homes. Like, hey, I just saw this on the market and thought of you. If the house in the the open house home doesn't work out for you, we could go
Mhm.
see this one.
Mhm.
And just like you need to
Yeah.
be like that guy that never gives up asking the girl out. Like, hey, let's go get a drink. Hey, let's go to dinner. Hey, like you can change up the message, the house, the value add, but just keep doing those little reach outs over and over. And not an answer is not a no. A no probably isn't even a no either, depending on how they say it. But so if you send them a house and they're like, not that one, that doesn't mean no to you. That means no to that house. And then you try again.
Okay.
It being like, hey, let's go get some Indian food. And the person's like, I don't like Indian food. That's not a no to a date. That's no to Indian food. So then you got to switch it up and find a new place.
Yeah.
Um, so, and then if they don't respond, that just means that maybe that's not the house. Maybe they're not ready now. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're scared about all of it. And uh, one day they'll end up doing all of it. So,
Yeah. They're kind of like, we got to get our house ready because we know it's might be hard to have a buy contingent on a sale. And I told them, no, that's going on in this market. But I said, the last home I sold, it was on the market for 6 days. So I've got some really great marketing strategies. I would love to help list your home.
I love that.
So I don't know if I should follow up more about, talking to them about selling their home because they felt like they had to do that first.
Yeah, well,
Um,
and you can even talk more about that. Maybe it's not the house then. Maybe it's like, hey, I'd love to come walk through your house and give you my professional opinion on where you should focus your time on getting ready to list.
oh, I like that one.
Something like that.
Yeah. So
And
focus maybe on the listing appointment.
yep, because then you can get way more information.
Yeah.
Like they might be ready to go right now. They might be ready to go, except for they're nervous about things. They might be just waiting for the right house. Their house they might be hoarders and they might have to actually do a lot of work before they can sell or whatever. There's some people that have enough money to buy a house but want to sell their house because it's paid off, so then they don't have a mortgage ever, but maybe
Yes.
they can get a mortgage and then work on selling the house. Like you'd have to pay more closing costs. So it's not smart, but I mean, you could do that. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different ways you could go about it, but you just have to know the exact scenario and what you're working with.
Okay. Awesome. That was super helpful.
Yes. Kay, go follow up, go keep adding value to these people.
Hey, Cameron, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So we're past the due diligence deadline and on the condo.
Nice.
And so they decided to pay cash. So we don't need an appraisal or any of that financing. So the next
Cool.
thing is just closing. Would it be okay if I go take my sign out of that house? Because I want to put the sign that actually has my phone number back at my fourplex.
Yeah.
But is it fine to just take it down and not have a sign there?
Yep. Yeah, you're basically done. They still could cancel, but you would keep their earnest money at this point. And so, yeah, if you want to take it down and put that at the fourplex instead, feel free to.
Oh,
Or you could swap them, whatever you wanted to do.
thanks.
Love it. Okay, well, this week we are restarting Ignite. So we have session 1 with Cameron today, which should be an awesome launch to Ignite. So definitely make it here by 9:30. Also, if you're following the DTD2, today we are on P&L, what I would call the profit week. So call all your people that have a P or an L for their last name. Um, Catch up, chat with them a little bit. And then we have an exciting week, a lot of training, a lot of fun things going on. So definitely pay attention to WhatsApp and everything Ritz has been sending out. And we will see you in Ignite shortly.
Oh,
Bye,
so
guys.
this
Hey, one question, Cameron.
Yeah,
Is Ignite supposed to be done in an order, session 1 through 20?
um, sort of. You can pick in whenever you join, but you guys are perfect here. So we're starting number 1. So that can be your first one. Be
is this the
perfectly
same
ideal for
link?
you guys.
Is it the same link for the class Ignite?
That one's going to be in person here in the large training room.
Oh,
That's right. They have a
well,
And then we're going to record it if you can't make it to this one.
yeah.
So you can grab that on YouTube. Usually Ritz has it up here. I don't know, the afternoon, the next day. He's pretty quick on it. So you can
Yeah.
check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, no worries. We've seen them on the channel before, so thank you.
Yep. Okay, we'll see you all soon.
Take care.